Let's go. Got it. Yeah, in a couple of seconds we start. Oh no, it's time already. So, what a beautiful day in UK. We have sun. We have sun. That's very good. And today is 29th of July. And let's have another wonderful day. So let's just start having a quick prayer. Who will ask? Pablo, can you do our initial prayer?
Sure. Master Jesus, dear spiritual benefactors, we are here one more Saturday to seek for knowledge, understanding about the gift of mediumship. May the knowledge shared here today shed light upon our doubts and stimulate us for new questions, for going further, and always be willing to learn more and to receive this with an open heart. Thank you. So be it.
So be it.
Here we are. Let me share our book with you guys.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. For some reason, my book does not appear here, so I need to go there as always. Let me just do something here. Okay, so now should work. Green, share. Yes, it will work. So let me just that increase so you all can see, you all can read better. So we have stopped last weekend in this item 182, inspired mediums. All those who either in a normal or ecstatic state receive mental communications that are foreign to their own preconceived ideas may be considered to be inspired mediums. Let's stop on this one straight away. Why it has always to be foreign to your ideas? It is giving you a method to give you more certainty of the type of information that are coming through, right? But not necessarily needs to be foreign to what you believe or what you know. How many incarnated spirits share the same opinion? How many discarnated spirits share the same opinion? How many discarnated and incarnated share the same opinion about a subject? So it is not necessarily a paramount factor to know if it is or not. But in case it is foreign to what you know, to what you believe, yes, that will give you an extra certainty about the subject, all right? They may be guarded as an intuitive variety, but with the difference that the intervention of a concealed power is much less detectable. For with an inspired medium, it is more difficult to distinguish between an inspired thought itself and the medium all thought. Honestly, I don't see a difference. It's very, very difficult to draw a line between one and another. And it is very difficult to draw a line between what is your thought, what is not your thought. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. That's why I always give warnings to people when, oh, well, I think it's that. Well, be careful. Be careful. Don't jump into conclusions that quick. Let's have a, how can I say that? A pattern of communications, that have a pattern of intuitions, that have a pattern of the phenomena that's happening, so we can create more data to allow us to evaluate what it is. Even on the end of this evaluation, we may come to a conclusion that, I don't know, could be, could not be. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. What characterizes the former is especially its spontaneity. I would go even a bit further on the spiritism, on spiritist or mediumistic phenomena. Every time we have something spontaneous, is better. We should not try to push to have a phenomena, to feel something, to hear something. We should not. When it's time, it's time. If you do have to exercise your mediumship for some reason, that will come, right? And that will come if you like or not, by the way. That's why we have so many wake-up calls and many people fighting against mediumship, you know. We may receive inspiration from the spirits who influence us either for good or evil, but it's mainly to help of those who want what is good for us. I will tell you our personal point of view, right? We may have inspirations from the spirits who influence us either for good or for evil, but it is mainly to help of those who want what is good for us, who counsels we most often fail to follow. Yes, but we have to be very careful too, because some intuitions, some thoughts, even some counseling we may receive from the spiritual world may be disguised as a good, as a wonderful, as good for us, and maybe not. I've seen this, and this happens more than we think. And we need to practice, exercise our reasoning, not just at the moment we receive the information, but the repercussions of this information. Let me give you a blunt example here. In a mediumship meeting, one spirit came. You guys are working too hard. I'm concerned about your well-being. I strongly advise you to reduce what you do by 50%. I'm worried about your health, about your family, about your whole life. That's why I'm telling you that. And my name is, I'll choose a great name to convince people. And someone will make questions. And of course, I'm prepared to answer politely, in a clever way. And in the end, is it a good message or not? The majority of people in this room may think, yes, he's trying to protect us, our well-being. He's looking after our health. He's looking after our future. You know, he's a positive message. My benefactor is looking after me. I don't think it is. So things like that, we have to be prepared through our exposure to the spiritism, to the mediumship phenomena, because things like that happen more often than we believe. This applies to all the circumstances of our life, in the decision we must make. In the sense, we would say that all are mediums, since there are none who do not have the protector and familiar spirits, who do everything they can to transmit good thoughts to their words. let's think about that here. Yes, we all have good spiritual friends. They like us very much. And they may want to give us the information that they think is the best for us. I truly believe that. But they may know less than you do. They're just spirits, like we are. They may give you their thoughts, and their thoughts may not be the best for you. Why I'm saying that? It's not because you had an intuition, because you heard something that you can or you should jump straight away. Again, we have to analyze, we have to evaluate, we have to see the repercussions. For example, we know we have someone that will be traveling to Brazil very soon. She will be eating a lot of local food in the north of the country. What are the repercussions? We all will be jealous. Is that the only repercussion? No, it's not. No, it's not. She may be eating something that she should not. She may be getting extra weight. Why it's a kind of joke, of course, but I'm trying to see that we normally just see the first thing that comes to my mind. We will be jealous because she's having what we are not. But this is just the one. There's so many other possibilities, and we normally don't waste time evaluating those, because that's the way we see wasting time. But it's not. When we see an event like that, we should take our time, we should evaluate, we should not rush into conclusions, all right? If everyone were convinced of this truth, they would more frequently draw upon the inspiration of the guardian angel in moments when they do not know what to say or do. This is contradictory to what I said here, right? Yes, because what I'm trying to do is to make you all think. Yes, I do have my guardian angels. I hear what they say. I try to follow. Yeah, that's normal. But in parallel, I also do the exercise. Okay, that's what I'm trying you guys to get. Let us fervently and confidently evoke our protector, the spirits in times of need. And we will, I'll be with you, Liz, just a minute. And we will more assiduously wonder at the ideas that arise as if by magic, whether for help in making a decision or in something else. Yeah, go on, Liz.
I wanted to say that what you said, for us to evaluate everything that comes into our heads, or all the things that people say and everything, is very important for us to do actually what you just read, to follow our guardian angels, because they are all the time trying to guide us to the right direction. But if we are not aware what the right direction is, if we are not really kind of, a little bit careful and thinking about, as you said, not having the first glance and that is that, but thinking about the consequences and everything in a wider picture, then, we won't be able to find what really is, this good direction that we have to follow.
I totally agree with you, Liz. And by the way, the rooster is very nice. I like that.
It's a farm here, and they are going to do this, okay?
That's good. That's good.
It's crazy.
And yes, we should always try to maintain a good relationship with those good spiritual friends, our guardian angels, our benefactors. That's why we always give advice to people to do what we're supposed to do, not only when we need, but all the time, right? Because if I do only the opposite, when I need, I may do what is written here, what Liz said, but it'll be very, very difficult to have that liaison happening, to have that link, that connection, Hi, Munir.
Hi, good day, Amir. Hi, everyone. Yeah, one very important aspect in all this is actually the state of us when we ask or when we receive inspiration. Because if I'm thinking of doing something that is not that good, I may be inspired in that direction. We should never forget that we attract all the time, constantly, whoever is around us, according to what we are thinking, our intentions, and so on. So if I'm trying to do good, most likely I'll be inspired to do good. Of course, I will perhaps perceive, a certain resistance from other spirits who do not want me to do, that. But on the other hand, I'm searching for inspiration from those who want to do good together with me. But if I'm, jealous, if I'm, trying to eat all types of food and said, oh, today is the day I eat everything that I can, and leave, take some food, put in my pocket for later or whatever, some spirits will come and reinforce that in that direction. So we should be vigilant in the sense of what are we attracting. So when we get the inspiration, we may judge, is this good or is this not good? No, I don't think this is a good idea because, I was jealous or was this or that,
That's why it's so difficult, isn't it, Munir?
Yeah.
That's why it's so difficult. The whole topic here is, yeah, I understand everything that's written. I agree with everything that's written, but it's so difficult because when we are leaving the situation, there are so many things to think, to evaluate. And I'm being honest, if it happens to me right now, very unlikely I will be able to identify what it is. If yes, no, good, not good. I won't be able to give you an answer in 5 minutes. I won't. Of course, if you're coming to a process and that's coming regularly and you see the results, you see that's different. I mean, now getting some idea from the blue, like shut down your computer. You have a massive problem right now. Things like that, we need to be careful. Now that Liz is really concerned about what she's going to choose to eat. Hi, Liz.
Do you know, you really hit the nail on the head. You go to your home and all you think is about the food you are going to eat. I had to think for other reasons. Anyway, I think one point of the question, as we are talking about judging what is best for us to do and having that good judgment all the time with the inspirations that we have, so we can follow what is good. But what is good, many people have misconceptions about what good things are sometimes. So meditation on this and just having a little time every day for us to meditate on certain things. And for me, and what I teach to my kids is like this. Think about something that you would like to happen. And if everyone in the world do the same thing, how would this world be? And is it going to be good for everybody? Everybody be happy or not? If 99.9% are happy, is no good. It needs to be happy for 100%. And these sort of judgment, of what is good, and is, for me, is based on this key element, what good is really. So for me, it's so important for us to reflect upon that, because having all this relativism, it's my opinion, it's my perception, is different to yours, my truth is different to yours. It is not like that. You need to understand what good really is. Then you can have that good judgment about what is going to be the best advice that you have to follow.
Oh, yours, Munir.
And what came into my mind now is also to pay attention, because we get inspiration, we don't get commands. We are very active in this process. So in the end of the day, everything is working around us for us to act, for our decision. So good spirits never give us the command and say, do that. No, they'll give us, inspiration. And of course, it has to go through in our analysis, but yeah, they'll never give us commands, It's up to us to decide, because inspiration we get all the time. Good and bad spirits we'll find everywhere. So it's natural that we are the ones to choose a channel to, tune in, and of course, evaluate all the time what we are receiving. And if we are going to succeed in that or not, following or not the inspiration, it's part of our learning process, but we have to be very, very attentive to what we're doing and learning, as you said, Guilherme, practicing that to learn, to choose. Because in the end of the day, we are the ones who are going to act according to the inspiration or not.
You're totally right. Let me give an example so that would be very clear. We all have someone we love, and I'll use a mom as an example. Our mom, she is giving us good intuitions since we left the womb. She's giving us the right food. She's giving us the right milk. She's giving us the right air to breathe, the right water to drink. Of course, we have variations depending on situations, but let's assume a perfect situation where she's able to give us everything we need. We come to a point where we are teenagers and she's still giving us good advice. We got married, she's still giving us good advice. We become parents, she's still giving us good advice. And through all these decades, we are able to create a liaison of trust with our mom. She may not be perfect, but 99% of times when she gave me the good advice, she was spot on. To the point that I used to say, shut up, mom. Shut up. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear, because I want to do this and I know you're going to tell me to do something else. And again, I know you'll be right, and it's like our benefactors. They will be there. And if we are able to create this liaison with him, this partnership with our benefactors, with our guardian angels, yes, we will trust them straight away, because we recognize, we know, but they are not the only ones out there, right? So if I'm not used to, I will have a hard time even to identify what is a good inspiration, what is a bad inspiration. And that's all down to us. If I am on the good path, chances are that I will hear more better intuitions than bad intuition, so yeah, love that one. Yeah. If no idea arises immediately, when all we must do is wait, and that is something very, very important. We ask for something. Sometimes what we get back is not what we asked, is what we need. It could be in a shape of intuition, or it could be something happening. But because we are only looking this very moment, now, and we don't receive what we think we need, we receive, if it's coming from a more elevated sphere, we receive what we need, and sometimes we have a hard time to interpret that. Hi, Osoli.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, sorry, I was a little bit late. I was to take away Caravaggio, so you have a place, a special place with some garbage, garbage. I must ask about in the opposite. This spirit. I was in Norway some years ago before a pandemic, COVID, and it was a painting, a medium painted. We know him he's from Brazilian. He knows him here in Europe because he used to come sometimes to he helps he helps works he had in Brazilian, very, very nice works with children. And he very inspired a painter. And painter wonderful pictures. And I love Monet. And I sat in the second place, and I observe everybody there observe us work here, but we didn't say, but it was very, very, very interesting. And I remember, I think, wonderful picture, 6 or 8 minutes only. Renoir, many. And I think I hope that Monet, Monet, I love Monet, I love his works. And I think so, kind of take at Monet came, and he was a tall man, and a medium, and he talked to me directly when I think I will say I also like very much my works. I admire my pictures. So it was because I never think that he could help me, listen to me. No, I didn't think so. I hope Monet answer me. No. And he heard me. So it was the opposite. The other was telepathy. What is this? Please, thank you.
My honest question, I don't know.
Yes, they say sometimes it's suddenly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It needs thorough analysis, thorough evaluation, and I don't know also that type of mediumship meetings to have paintings. So my answer is I don't know. If anyone wants to elaborate more, Munir, Charles, but because I don't know.
I didn't talk anything. I only think, my bad. You hear him up. So, Jude, I hope. And he heard me. Actually, I very, very loved him and works. And many people there is a little bit distance. We didn't say direct, but he works there. He is very serious, medium.
Okay, so one day we'll find someone.
Monet, please, if you can answer me.
No, I don't have an answer, actually. I would have, to have more elements to be able to say something. It could be, there are many possible ways to explain it, but yes.
So
there were many people with me, so this is not my imagination. And
no, we get it.
I don't lie. I don't lie.
Yeah,
never.
We get that. So one day you get an answer. Not today, I'm afraid.
Nick, can I ask a question? Sorry, I've joined in quite late today. But is it a question in relation to how the mediumistic phenomena happens on paintings, mediumistic painting?
I have no idea. And
Oh, okay.
I don't see.
Okay, so
It's better that I don't express what I think, but I don't see what is the outcome. I have a hard time seeing the outcome, so I'm afraid I cannot answer that one either. Okay.
Can I give you my opinion on what I think it is?
Of course you can.
I don't know if it's right because it's just my opinion. Yeah, I haven't actually read anything that explains the phenomena, and I think it definitely needs a book to explain with the story behind the paintings and what happens afterwards. That's what's needed for the work to materialize completely. Initially they create the painting on the spiritual world. The painting is often relates to a person to a spirit that's reincarnate, that often needs to go back onto a past life to bring that vibe, that energy back, to change the shape of things now. And the work it's linked as well to bringing charity. So it's a question of linking. There is a strong relationship between linking the old and new and bringing renewal of energies and charities and change of the world. It creates an energy flow, a positive energy flow between a person's past life and future acts, so that more charity can be created in the future. But to explain it in detail is impossible without the painters themselves giving their own words what's going on. And it takes various parts of the brain. Maybe Florento might be able to contact with us. I know there is someone in London with his phone number, so maybe he could attend one day and explain to us how does it.
I didn't want to say a name, but you said for example.
I don't think this is the objective of this study. But I'm pretty sure that eventually you guys will be able to contact him or her, I don't know, to get the information you need. All right, so let's move on.
Thank you, Rafaela.
Thank you, Rafaela.
No problem.
The proof that we are dealing with a suggested idea is precisely in that if it were our own, it would always have been at our disposal, and there would have been no reason for it not to have manifested at our beck and call. Those who are not blind only need to open their eyes whenever they want to see. In the same way, those who have their own ideas always have them at their disposal. But if they do not surface when they want them, it is because they must go in search of them outside themselves. In this category, we may also include persons who, without being gifted with, I don't like this word, mediums are not gifted. Mediums receive a task. Being gifted with exceptional intelligence and without leaving their normal state, have flashes of intellectual lucidity and endows them with surprising ease of conception and elocution, and in certain cases, a presentiment about future. Presentiment about future, in my opinion, is something else as well. At such a times, which is the rightly called inspirational. At such a times, which we rightly call inspirational, ideas abound and follow up one another in an involuntary and almost feverish impulse. It seems like a higher intelligence has come to our aid, and that our spirit has been freed of a great burden. And we all have examples. If we are prepared to listen, we all have, to a certain extent, experienced this phenomenon. This is not specific to anyone. It is to everyone. All geniuses, artists, scholars, and literati are undoubtedly advanced spirits with the ability to comprehend and conceive of great things. And it is precisely because the spirits judge them as possessing such abilities that Whenever they want to accomplish certain deeds, they suggest the necessary ideas to them. It is thus that in most instances, they are mediums without realizing it. Everyone is a medium, right? Nevertheless, they have a vague intuition of being assisted for those who appeal for inspirational, actually make an evocation. Let me stop here a bit about evocation, because sometimes we misunderstand what evocation is, what an evocation can do. People believe an evocation only happens in a mediumship meeting, and it's not. An evocation happens every time you're thinking about someone. Incarnated, discarnated, doesn't matter. And if the person on the other end of the phone has some sensibility, he or she may not know who is calling, who is getting connected, but she felt like someone is thinking about me. So thinking is already an evocation, all right? And that evocation can go to several degrees. If they expected not to be heard, why would they often exclaim, "My guardian angel, help me"? The following response confirms this assertion. What is the primary cause of inspiration? Mental communication from a spirit. Is inspiration only meant for greater revelations? No, it is almost always meant to most common life circumstances. So if any of you is thinking that you're receiving inspirations and you are something special, you are not. None of us are, right? For example, you want to go somewhere and secret voice tells you not to because you would meet with danger. Or this voice suggests that you do something that you had not thought of. This is an inspiration. And we all have that. We all have that. But we don't even pay attention on it. This is inspirational. This is inspiration. There are very few people who have not been inspired on many occasions. In moments of inspiration can give writers, painters, or musicians, for example, be regarded as mediums. Hi, Yasmin.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I would just like to make a quick comment about the second, the inspiration one, because I met in the past a few people, a few persons who know about Spiritism, and on the contrary, we all are inspired at some time of our life, but I think we should be careful about trying to be always inspired, because for example, today I walked to the supermarket and I usually go straight, and today I turned right, and because I was inspired, and today I did this. That's because I was inspired. And yesterday I did this. Yeah, spirits inspired me. But it's the opposite and an extreme that we should be aware of, because yeah, we like to be inspired. Spirits are helping me and so on. And maybe sometimes it's not, and maybe sometimes it's spirits that just want to fool us. So we should stay careful about saying, I was inspired. And we always have a free will that we also should be aware of. And yes, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
You brought something interesting, Yasmin, that if I want to be inspired, like you said, chances are that one spirit that's not very serious will see that I'm really, really someone that believes in being inspired 24/7, and he will start to be together with you just to have fun. You start to give you intuition just for the sake of, let's make this person looking like a fool or whatever. So yeah, that's why in the beginning we said things needs to be natural. And things like intuition do not come every moment. They normally come when it's really required, because otherwise, why do we have a free will? Thank you, Yasmin. In moments of inspiration, can writers, painters, or musicians, for example, be regarded as mediums? Yes, because in such a moment, their soul is free and more free. I think there was a mistake on spelling here anyway. Is free or more separated from matter, and thus it recovers part of its faculties as a spirit and more easily receives communication from other spirits who inspires it. And this is also very, very common. There is no one special because of this. And I like to say that mediums are not special at all. If I could say something, it would be exactly the opposite. Mediums just need to be quiet and work harder. That's it. Mediums are not special creatures. But normally mediums like to blah, blah, blah. And then start to derail a little bit. So in that case in particular, mediums who are not known as a mediums, but are exercising a profession, or doctors, nurses, therapists, you name it. Don't need to be an artist to be considered as a medium, like it's saying here. We're talking about arts, music, blah, but anyone could be receiving good thoughts to do good deeds. So what time is it? I'm not checking, we still have time. Prescient mediums, prescient mediums. A presentiment or a vague intuition about future events. Certain individuals possess this faculty to different degrees of development. Okay, let's continue reading and then we make a comment later. It may be regarded as a type of second sight that enables them to see the consequences of the present and the natural chain of events. But they are also often the results of concealed communications, and it is particularly in these instances that the individuals so gifted may be called prescients. I don't know what this word, prescient mediums, whatever, who comprise a variety of inspired mediums. This is one of the things that makes a lot of mediums think they are the supreme mediums of all. I can see the future. I can have intuition. Like, you need to be very careful. Maybe few, very few, I would stop and listen. The other ones I would not, because how can we evaluate? How can we be certain that that's really happening or not? Right. So I would not give incentive to anyone to exercise this mediumship. But if someone honestly do have this type of mediumship, he or she needs to be really, really extra careful. Because it's very easy to get lost and would be very easy to be manipulated as well by spirits that don't want our well-being. And then you start to stop using your free will because you always want to see the future. And you should not leave the future. You should leave the present. Same type of thing when people, I remember my past lives. Keep that for you. If you do, keep that for you. And you only have that information is because you probably screw up in the past and you should not screw up again. Okay, so, but mediums as human beings like to I can see the future, I can see the past, keep quiet and work. That's it. Keep quiet and work. It's the best thing I could say to mediums in any type of medium, because mediums like to talk. What time is it? 15 minutes. We have 15 minutes to go. Okay, special mediums. I am against this word because mediums are not special. I would use variety, a different variety of mediums. Because the worst thing that could happen to a medium is that he starts to think he's special. And he is not. We have few examples of very good mediums, something that we are not. And they never felt special. They felt exactly the other way around. So let's be very careful. So I asked Kardec to change. I don't know if it's just a traduction or if Kardec used this name, I don't remember, but I'll ask his permission to change this word to variety of mediums. Variety of aptitudes of mediums. Synoptic tables, the different varieties of writing mediums. Special aptitudes of the mediums. Beside the mediumistic category already enumerated, mediumship offers infinite varieties that includes that may be called special mediums. Those gifted with still undefined particular attitudes apart from the qualities of knowledge of the manifesting spirits. Even if the medium, let's say both are psychographic mediums, the way they perceive, the way they write, the way the communication is happening is enormous. There's not only one way that could happen, right? And this particular sentence, Kardec is telling us that they are undefined type of mediumship. Kardec said that. In a study a couple of years ago, I think it was a study, where presented to the group of people that we were finding different type of mediumships. Someone that believes that she or he, I don't remember anymore who was, knows everything, said that's not possible. It's written here by Kardec. Undefined particular aptitudes. And when he wrote that in 1800s, he was able to identify there were some mediumships that were not clearly, he could not clearly label that type of mediumship. And as we evolve as human beings, new types of mediumships will come. We should be prepared to study them, to accept first. I think that would be the most important thing, to accept, to study the phenomena, and find a way to give them support. Because if you do have a different type of mediumship, you're going to a spirit center, and the person responsible for that tell you that you're lying, that does not exist, that you're crazy, that's not helping you at all, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of possibilities when someone trying to find assistance and cannot. The nature of the resulting communications is always related to the nature of the spirit and bears the stamps of its degree of evolution, its wisdom, or its ignorance. But in spite of similarities among the spirits of the same degree of hierarchical scale, there is undeniably a tendency for each spirit to occupy itself with a particular specialty. Spirits who produce raps, for example, rarely depart from physical manifestations, while among those who provide intelligent manifestations, there are spirits who are poets, musicians, painters, scholars, moralists, physicians, etc. We are referring to spirits of an average order because in a more elevated degree of hierarchy, the aptitudes blend to the unity of perfection. However, alongside the aptitude of the spirit itself is the aptitude of the medium, the instrument that may be either more appropriate and flexible, or less so, and which the spirit discover individuals' qualities that cannot always appraise. And then, sometimes, mediums come to us, do I need to study science to be able to receive scientist spirits? Do I need to study this for that? The study is always positive. It doesn't matter when, how, but medium is a medium. It's just a channel for the communication. What is written here is not in regards to the intellectual knowledge of the medium. It's more to his morale, something that's very difficult. The medium that's more flexible for the spirit is the medium that really embraces Jesus' teachings, really embraces the opportunity to practice charity, really study seriously. It's not a medium that goes in a meeting today and disappear for 3 meetings and come back for another meeting. No, it's a medium that is committed to this charitable activity. This is what will make a medium less or so malleable, flexible for higher spirits. We all can receive any type of spirit if we do our bit. If we don't, it's never going to happen. Let us make a comparison. A very skillful musician has several violins at his disposal, which the ordinary person all appears to be good instruments, but among which the consummate artist can tell a big difference, perceiving extremely delicate nuances that will enable him to choose some and reject others. Nuances that he perceives by intuition without being able to define them. The same applies to mediums. Despite the quality of their state, as to mediumistic potency, a spirits will nevertheless prefer one over another, according to the type of communication it wishes to transmit. As a result, we see, for example, mediums under the influences of a spirit who writes admirable poetry, even though they themselves have never been able to make verse in their ordinary state. So this is a prime example. The person does not know anything about poetry and is writing beautiful things, right? And someone that does not know how to read and write, may also write things like that. Okay? Others, on the contrary, are normally poets, but as a mediums, they only write proses in spite of their desire to write poems. The same happens with paintings, music, etc. There are mediums who, without possessing scientific knowledge, are most capable of receiving communication of this nature. Others are more skillful at historical studies. Others more easily serve as interpreters for moralistic spirits. In a word, whatever the medium flexibility may be, the communication he or she receives most generally have a special stamp, Furthermore, there are those who never leave a determined circle of ideas, and when they try to do so, they only receive incomplete, laconic, and often erroneous communications. So just to get your attention, there are messages that are not correct, and they are received in a way that makes the medium believes he's really the medium, and we need to be very careful with that. Beside the issues of aptitudes, spirits also prefer to communicate through this or that medium, according to the affinity between them. When we're talking about affinity, we talk about fluidic, energetic affinity, okay? Thus, in spite of our obvious similarity of conditions, the same spirit will be more explicit through certain mediums solely because they are better suited to it. Well, 4 minutes, I will now start. Let me just stop here. Let me just use this 4 minutes we have talking about something that is really a concern. A lot of mediums or people that want to become a medium, they really try to get on the spotlight. They're trying to get known in the circle. And I think we should not be focusing ourselves into that direction. I think we should be focusing ourselves in being a tool to help those that are in need, right? And when we do so, when we are seriously about that, we will start to have activities that are correlated to that wish, and then the spirits will see us as a viable tool to work with them, right? Everybody think that I have a mentor. No, we have spirits working with us. And if one spirit is to perform one type of work, needs to be like a dentist, there is a dentist spirit that will come to work with you. And then tomorrow, if you do a different type of work that you need someone with a different type of skills, they will come to work with you. Of course, we have our guardian angels, we have our family spirits. There's a cloud of spirits that are always around us, depending on us to define who they are, if they are good or not good. So when we study about mediumship, I think we also have to understand that mediumship is not only the phenomena. Mediumship is also the consequence of what we are, what we chose to be. So we all have the power to choose the kind of spirit we want to be around us. And if you don't choose, they will choose for us. And sometimes we may not be happy on the end. So now that I see that Raphael is back, I will ask Raphael to do our final prayer.
Should have kept hidden. Okay. Let's all then elevate our thoughts and calm our hearts. And this moment, connecting once again to one another and connecting to our benefactors who overlook these studies. We say thank you for another opportunity to be here, to be present, to show up, so we can absorb the ideas and we can start new reflections that clarify the functioning of the spiritual world and interactions between our side and the other side. As in the end, we know, in reality, we're all together. We say thank you to the good spirits for the blessings they are shared with us every week. We hope to be here again next week to continue our studies and discussions. And in the name of Jesus, our loving Master, we ask permission to close today's session. So be it.
Thank you, Rafael. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to be with you guys next week. I wish you all have a great weekend. Sunny weekend in UK. Very good. And looking forward to see you all again in a week's time.
Bye-bye. Thank